The muzzle is off. Let go of the shame, remove all the pain, block it out like a troll on your timeline. The past is what made you who you are today. Embrace it, let it go like an exhale. Remove it, remove it, remove it. The muzzle is off.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Muzzle Is Off Podcast, where I am your host, Nakia Monet. I hope y'all are feeling pretty good out there. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, Angel, I love you too, sis. We had her and her fiance on last week. Love you, sis. Yes, listen, I said this month we are truly going to really and truly celebrate Black love. I believe in Black love. I believe Black love matters. I believe Black love exists. I believe all things Black and Black love, right? But I said tonight, I was like, well, you know what? We are discussing love. We are honoring and we are, embracing Black love. But there is also another aspect of love. And sometimes that love can hurt, right? And we can't shy away from uncomfortable conversations, I believe, right? I believe a lot of the times we don't like to discuss the other side because we think it takes away from one side, and it doesn't. All of this stuff makes sense. Everything works together for the good. And it's time that we have a level of uncomfortableness in our conversation in order to do what? Break cycles, break curses, and bring people to a better awareness and also healing. You know what I'm saying? So tonight's podcast is truly about Black love, but it's about what happens when that love hurts. And then how do you, after the love hurts, how do you then live and love post-hurt, right? So we have a very special guest with us tonight. And let me tell you something. What people don't understand is that I meet people. And as much as I meet people, I don't meet them, right? Because since we've never actually met in person yet. We were supposed to, you know what I'm saying? We actually were both doing a pop-up shop or whatever the case may be. And we never actually got to meet in person. But we connected. And I was like, what's this? We got to connect, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, yeah, we definitely do got to connect. I didn't really know why we needed to connect, but we definitely needed to connect, right? And then as we began to follow each other, and then I began to see her story be played out on her post on Instagram with how she actually discusses her story. And I was like, you know what? She has to come on the podcast. But I said, when I started to think of this topic, I told her, I said, you got to come on because we need to discuss Black love and we need to discuss the other side of that love of when it hurts, right? Full freaking disclaimer for all you people that get mad every time I say Black love. I don't care. Full disclaimer. I don't care. I'm just putting that out there. The reason being is because we need to learn how to celebrate ourselves and the way in which we love and the way in which we embrace love and the way in which we show love. Now, there's another side to this Black love as well, because, there is a history of domestic violence. There is a history of love actually hurting. There is a history of, cheating. There is a history of, adultery. There is a history of lies. There is a history of manipulation. That's love as a whole. That is not specific to Black love. That is love as a whole. I don't care who you are. You can be a cheater, you can be a liar, you can be a manipulator, and you can be an abuser, period, right? But what we're specifically talking about today is because I'm Black, we are talking Black love, and we are talking relationships within us. And that's what I'm really focusing on. So if you're offended by it, I'm letting you know I don't care. I'm just putting it full out there. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, there is freedom in all things that we express. and we should be free to express what we want to express, period. Freedom of expression. Oh, well. Now, welcome my very special guest, Miss Maisah Wise. Hey, girlfriend.
Hey girl, hey, thank you, beautiful. Thank you first and foremost. Thank you for having me on this show. I am honored. I'm honored that you chose me. It means so much to me. We definitely connected months ago, last year sometime. I couldn't come to the pop-up shop because some things came up, but I still watched you on and you were out there. I watched the live, I followed you, and I was like, you know what? I have to meet her. Your energy. It was for me, it was your energy. It was your energy. And we started following each other because we were doing a pop-up shop together. That's
Mm-hmm.
how we started to follow each other. And just your posts and just watching your story and just little things that you would put. I said, okay, God always places people in your life for a specific reason. Sometimes we never know what the reason is for until it happens. When we watching things unfold, because it's all a part of our journey. It's all a part of our process. It's all a part of healing, you know.
And that's
So
the important
definitely.
part. The process, it's all part of healing.
Hmm.
So Maisah, tell us about you. Who are you, girl?
Ooh, Maisah. First and foremost, I'm a black woman. Yes, baby. I'm on now. Oh, first and foremost, I'm a black woman. I'm a daughter. I'm a mother. I'm a fiance. I'm engaged to get married to the love of my life. I am a 15-year ultrasound technician. I am an advocate for women's health. I love our people. I love our culture. I am us. I am us. That's who I am. That's who Maisah Wise is, because we don't love us enough. And every day, I don't care who you are, I tell any black woman I see, hey, beautiful. That's how I greet every black woman I see. Hey, beautiful, how are you? Even when my patients are nasty and they're having a bad day, I still greet you. Hey, Miss Davis, you're beautiful. How you feeling today? What's going on? Come talk to me. Even with the ugliness that you're exuding, I'm not going to give that back to you, because we are all beautiful. So that's just a little piece of who I am. And we can go into our stories and things like that, but that's who I am. I love us. I love us. And I want us to be better because we are great. And I want us to see how great we are. We allow others to put this wool over our eyes, to dim our light all the time. Somebody is always trying to dim our light because they know and they see how great we are. So, you know, that's just a little bit who I am. I'm a woman who has survived a lot of things. I'm a woman who has healed through things that she never thought that she could heal from. I am a woman who got herself out of a 13-year toxic relationship that she thought she could never get out of. I'm a woman who used to think that I had to be there for everybody else before I needed to be there for myself. But I'm no longer that woman. So it's a lot to who Maisah Wise is.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, thank you. Shout out to everybody that's watching. You guys are amazing. Yeah.
I just got to write some of the things down that you just said, because we're going to touch them on the way back. I was
Okay.
like, I'm over here like, where's my, just
With
typing in, where's my pen? You got a whole notepad and
you
you
got to get
look,
you an assistant, my love. We got to
got a,
get you an assistant.
but I got a whole notepad over here looking for a pen. Like, you have a notepad in your phone. Like, you upgraded. Go ahead and use your notepad.
Use your notepad.
Right. Like, this is what
Yes,
it's here
God is
for.
good. Yes,
But
yes.
tell the people a little bit about what you do
So,
outside of ultrasound.
outside of ultrasound, I am in love with educating, uplifting, empowering, motivating our women, our people, especially our women. Um, I'm a woman, and I have a soft spot for us because I see how we are with ourselves. I see how we are with one another. And honestly, just being a woman growing up and then working in the medical field and working, very closely with women every single day, and just to see and know our thought process and how we feel about ourselves, and the way we don't take care of ourselves, the way we literally put every single person before us, literally. And seeing that pushed me to want to encourage us to stop doing that, to encourage us to say it's okay to take care of myself today. Self-care is a huge, huge, huge thing for me. And I encourage people and I motivate people and push them to take care of themselves as well. Even when you feel like you cannot. 10 minutes a day, you could just take 10 minutes for yourself. 10 minutes just to have a little bit of you time, a little bit of peace of mind, because we don't give ourselves that enough. I do that. I also used to weigh 265 pounds. And on my own, I literally lost 83 pounds. I first lost 50 pounds. And then the next year, 2 years later, I lost an additional like 38, no, 40, 38 pounds or something like that. And I got down to 183 pounds. I hadn't been under 200 pounds since 2001. So I now, am a wellness and health coach. I encourage and motivate and help other women do the same thing that I have done, help them maintain that, help them to meal prep and teach them that it's not boring to eat these different kind of foods and change up your daily process and your daily routine. It's okay to eat a little bit healthier. I encourage women to do that. I also am now a certified life and mindfulness coach, so I encourage women, give them affirmations, teach them different daily routines, teach you to change your thought process. It really literally takes just you to change your thought. Just a thought. In a second, we think that negative thought, no, change that around. I can do this.
That's one of the things I will say, that when I went on my health, my health and wellness journey, my mental health journey through fitness, that's one of the things Donnie always told. Donnie said, "Good evening, everyone." That's one of the things he always told us. He was like, "It's mental. Don't tell me what you can't do, because you can."
You can.
Right? And a lot of the times we get ourselves caught up in a realm of can't, because it's mental. In our mind, we're literally telling ourselves we can't do something. So then our body is reacting to us saying, no, I can't. Our body's reacting to our thoughts. Our body's reacting to our emotions. Our body's reacting to our feelings. And then we wonder why I can't lift this weight. No, you can.
Yes.
Lift it.
Lift it. Just do it. Prime example. You know how we teach this. So daily routine. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh my God, that's so early. No. Getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning is a wonderful thing, because you have enough time just to have time for yourself. You have to think about, if you're getting up at 6:30 in the morning, as soon as you're waking up, you're jumping up. You're running, you're doing this, you're doing that. Give yourself time. So if you tell yourself the night before, you setting an alarm to wake up at 5 o'clock, but you're already saying, oh my goodness, I don't want to wake up at 5 o'clock. You're already putting that in your mind subconsciously. So when that alarm goes off at 5 o'clock, you know what happens? You're already hitting that snooze button. And you're going to continuously hit it, because you already told yourself, I don't want to do this. But the night before, you set that alarm and you intentionally say, I'm going to get up. I know it's going to be hard, but I'm going to do this because I need to do this. I have to do this because I need a peace of mind. I don't like how my life is going right now. You have to talk to yourself. Just like you talk to your girlfriend or your mother or your mate and encourage them, you have to encourage yourself the same way. So it's a mindset. It's the way you speak to yourself. So
Rashida just said, she said it's mind over matter.
Absolutely.
Mind a lot of the things matter. We don't understand that a lot of the times we have to conquer our mind. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know how to do that. And that's one of the biggest issues that I think that we have, especially when it comes down to this whole love thing.
Oh, right? Yeah.
When it comes down to this whole love thing, a lot of it has a lot to do with our mind. Your mind. I'm not worthy of love. I can't hold on to love. Love don't love nobody. We know we heard them songs, right? Love hurts. Same. And then we flip it and say truth hurts. No. All this stuff is real. Love don't hurt. I don't know what type of love people used to, but love don't hurt. Neither does truth. Truth is just real. And you just can't deal with
Right.
truth, so you
You
don't know
just
how to
can't deal
deal with
with truth.
real.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And when you think of love in its true essence and in its true form, it doesn't hurt. Love is kind. You know what I'm saying? Love isn't prideful. Love isn't boastful. Love does not hurt. Love doesn't even envy. You know what I'm saying? Love does what love does. It embraces, it encourages, it inspires, it pushes, it motivates, it dedicates, it honors. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But when we don't understand what love actually does, because we're so used to a toxic form of love, right? And it's in all of its toxicity, love hurts. In all of its toxicity, love don't love nobody. In all of its toxicity, love causes issues. Love causes pain. Love causes, a lack of peace. What? Where is this at? Whom have you really loved to the point where you didn't feel peace? Because if you didn't feel peace in that love, that really wasn't love. That was something else. I don't know what that was a cousin. Twice removed. That was that.
Yep.
That was a twice removed cousin.
People don't see healthy relationships. When we were having this conversation, it was a group of us, and I asked them, I said, how many of you actually seen a healthy relationship growing up? Even if in the beginning stages it was a little toxic, but as time went on, it turned into a healthy relationship. And everybody, it was about 5 of us, no one has saw a healthy relationship up until this point in their lives, up until these 39, 40 years old, and that's not okay, because people stay in these unhealthy relationships believing that, you know what, well, you're supposed to have up and downs. You're supposed to go through things. Up and downs is not having your mate disrespect you every single moment of the day. That's not an up and down.
No.
That's just straight disrespect and lack of respect, and this person doesn't love you. But you're conditioned, we're used to seeing that. You see that with your mother or an aunt or a sister or a cousin or an uncle, or when you see your uncles never be in a relationship with one woman, they have multiple women. Every few months, Uncle Pete, he got a different lady.
Got a new one.
Yeah.
Or no, this one was just here Friday night, and because now it's Sunday, here come new one coming.
Yes.
Because it's Sunday.
Yes.
And I'm the one that's gonna jack up your name on purpose. I'm that niece.
Are
they
you
know.
serious?
I am that niece. Hey, Michelle. Her name is that. You know that's not Michelle. Oh well, you shouldn't have brought her. You shouldn't have brought Robin.
It's just messy, and it puts other people in an uncomfortable position. I've talked to people where their uncle or their father would take them to another woman's house when they were little boys, little kids. It's like, wait a minute. Oh yeah, my father missed so-and-so. And as I got older, I started realizing, oh, this is not just a friend. This is something else. So as this young man is now seeing this, his father and his mother are married, but he's now knowing his father is now doing this with this other woman that has been doing it for years. So you know what he does? Now he does the same thing, or he doesn't even get married. He just in all these little small relationships and not committed to any one woman.
Small relationships, because none of them matter. You just got multiple small relationships with people.
And it's a nasty, vicious cycle. It's a nasty, vicious cycle, because we can't keep making excuses to say we didn't see it, because you have to want more. You don't want more. You okay with living your life like this all the time, lying, doing all these things, when you could just really just be a single person? But then those people that can't do that because they have these insecurities within themselves. So this is why they have to have all these people around them, all these women or men around them constantly, because it's something within them. What's going on with you? What happened? What is lacking? People don't talk about it. They don't have these conversations. People don't like to really talk about what's really going on with them. They just like to focus on other people. But if you focus on really what's going on with you, we'll all see that it's something that happened in our childhood, or something that we saw, something that we were accustomed to or conditioned to make us behave and accept certain behaviors that we do. You know what I mean? But then you have to want to change that. You have to want to stop hurting other people or stop being the person that's getting hurt.
And I believe that. I believe that we all have a choice in
Mhm.
everything. Number one person has a choice to stop hurting other people, and then another
Mhm.
person has a choice to stop being the one that gets hurt, right? Like
Exactly.
when you recognize the behavior, now you need to really and truly recognize the signs of the behavior, right? And so once I begin to recognize the signs of the behavior, now I know, no, when that behavior comes my way, I'm good with it. And what
Right.
like one of the telltale signs for me is anybody that's inconsistent. If you can't consistently be one way,
Right.
I already know there's
Mhm.
no way in hell we gonna talk
Mhm.
ever in life,
Mhm.
because I don't deal with the inconsistency of, oh, I'll talk to you one day and I'm not going to talk to you the next day. Oh, I'll just catch up with you. No, I'm not dealing with all that. There's a very
Mhm.
big difference between a person being busy in a moment and you just constantly inconsistent, right? And
Right.
I think a lot of the times, like, we don't fully understand that aspect. I know the difference between being busy and being inconsistent. I'm a busy person, but I'm not an
Mhm.
inconsistent person. There's a difference.
Big difference.
You know what I'm saying? And that's that
Mhm.
that that to me is a telltale sign right there. If you are a serial inconsistent person, I'm not dealing with you.
And that'll
And
show.
listen, I'm not
Mhm.
dealing. And this is across the board. This doesn't have anything to do with just men or relationships.
Mhm.
This is relationships in general. You could be a friend, whatever the case may be. If you're a constantly inconsistent person, I'm not
Yeah.
dealing with you, because to me that's a different level that I don't have time to play with nobody, which is consistency. You can consistency be in a person. You can consistently be in a person's life without
Mhm.
being an overbearing person in their life, right?
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And when you continue to prove that you're just inconsistent, no, I'm good. Thanks. Enjoy. I literally had, this ain't about me, but whatever. I literally had
No,
like
girl,
someone,
we talking.
you're right. I literally had someone like text me out the blue yesterday. Oh, I miss you. What? What happened here? What is
Oh
now?
man.
Mind you,
Yeah.
now kid you not, the phone number is not in my phone. Haven't heard from you in like over 2 years. So the number, the name is not there.
Mm.
So I said, I'm sorry, but who is this? Well, this is John. I just went through something, and I just remembered, you could be a place of comfort. I said, I'm gonna need you to contact your
Oh
wife.
no. Yeah.
Call your wife
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
have your wife comfort you. I don't play these games.
Mm.
Thanks.
Mm.
Because you seem to forget that I saw
Wow.
on a good book like 2, 3 years ago you got married. Why are you
Wow. And so you
yeah.
thought I didn't know. You thought I didn't know, huh?
Call her and
Oh.
let her comfort you in whatever you need comfort in. I don't play those games with people, and I
Mm-mm.
don't play those games with
Mm-mm.
people. And then for
Mm-mm.
me, that for me is my level of integrity across the board for everything. You know what I'm saying? I believe love has integrity. Love has
Yes.
morality. Love has its
Yes.
own character. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And if I say that I am a loving person, I exude love, I welcome love, I expect
Mm-hmm.
love in return, all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
then I need to understand the characteristics of love so that I can get what I expect back to me and not
Right.
get the trash that someone wants to give me that they think is love. No, you're not. You're not allowed to give me trash and call that love. I already did that.
Mm-hmm. Been there, done that.
So let's talk about the
Mm-hmm.
trash that we have accepted as love, sis.
Ooh. You know the trash we accept as love is man, disrespect. Disrespect, intentional disrespect at that. The way this person that says that they love you speaks to you in such a negative and a way that you wouldn't speak to somebody that you claim you love. You know, the not coming home, which is under disrespect as well. You know, all these things fall on the lines of disrespect. Mistreatment, we allow it and say things about it, but never really do anything about it. You know, you may yell and scream and argue, but it's really not going anywhere. It's just a going in one ear out the other, because if this person can disrespect you on a consistent basis, then that means that everything that you're saying to them does not matter because they're doing it on a consistent basis. I don't care if, oh, he did X, Y, and Z today, and then he didn't do anything a thing for a month, and then next month, boom, he's back at the same thing again. He's consistently doing it because this is his pattern. This is what he does. But it's being allowed. We're allowing ourselves to be disrespected. We're allowing ourselves to be disrespected, and still, on the flip side, doing everything in our power to try to force this person to love us the way we want them to love us. When you can't do that, you can't force anybody to love you the way you want them to be loved because they may not feel that way about you.
They might
And that's a
not.
hard pill to swallow because your action shows every single thing. I don't care what you tell me every day on a consistent basis. Your actions show me how you feel on a consistent basis. Your actions are what matters. Those words mean nothing when your actions and your words don't match up.
I follow actions. Facebook users.
Mm-hmm.
So hold up, let's do it. Let me help Facebook users. You're probably in the Living Truth group. So the reason why it's showing up as Facebook user is because because you're inside of a private group, you have to give StreamYard permission to show your name because it's in. So my Living Truth group is a private group for men and women, but it's a private group. So I broadcast into the group. So anytime I broadcast into the group, because it's private, you have to give StreamYard permission to show your name. You are welcome. So if you go out of the actual live, you'll see in the language above it tells you click this link to give StreamYard permission to show your name. But that's why. But if you just want to come out the group and go on my personal page or go on the Muzzle Is Off Facebook page, you won't have that issue. We're gonna see your name. But who are you anyway? Just tell me your name. I can't.
What's your name? Where you from, Al?
Look, okay. I can't see it right now, but I mean, you commented some good stuff though. So,
because enough is enough, enough really is enough. And I wanted to say something when you made a comment about we were talking about this happens to me so much sometimes. You were talking about the guy who had hit you up and he was married. You said go and talk to your wife because he hit you up and said,
don't play with me.
I want to talk to you about something. I'm going through some things, and this is a huge problem in relationships. Talk to your mate, talk to your spouse, talk to your partner. If you cannot have this conversation with your partner, then maybe you should rethink who you are with. Let me tell you something. The relationship I am now, our communication is like through the roof because that's what we do. We can we can have a debate or a disagreement about something. We'll come back to each other and sit down and talk it out. And we will break it down each step by step. Okay, well, you said this, well, this happened, and this is why I reacted this way. So because I reacted this way, X, Y, and Z, and now we know. So next time if something like this happens, you know how to react or not to react to certain things because, okay, well, you know what? This is not even worth it. But you have to talk to the person that you're with. And that's the problem in so many relationships is because people are so focused on calling somebody else instead of working it out with the person they with. And now you're getting this outside information. You're getting this outside information and bringing it into your home when this person is not the person that you're laying with every night.
And how that work?
And then you wonder. And listen, I'm guilty of that. I was that person too, and I was that person because I was in a relationship where the other person didn't want to talk about it. I've always been huge on communication. I always want to talk things out. I was raised that way. You're going to talk this out, So that's how I've always been. But when you're in a relationship with somebody who doesn't want to do that, sometimes, you are forced to speak to outside people. Even when you're not taking the outside people's advice, subconsciously you are. Subconsciously is going down in there. And then now sometimes what you're doing, you're reacting as the other person. You're saying what this other person said to you, knowing that, wait a minute, hold on, I didn't mean to say that. Because you're taking on this other person's thought and feelings about the person that you're with.
And let me say this, okay? So when I was married, right, one of the first piece of advice my spiritual mother gave me, and she said, Nakia, whatever you go through, you keep it within you two, right? Now, that was good and bad at the same time, because there were some things I more than likely should have really been divulging to someone whom I trusted that, you know, probably could have steered me in a better way. But even true story, you know, a lot of people, not even people, there was only a few people that were actually very close to me at that time. When it came down to the marriage, they never felt comfortable giving their opinion about a marriage that they were not in. And I can respect that. The reason being I can respect it is because when people are married, you have to be very careful with the opinion that you provide to a married person, right? And let me say this, and this is why even for myself, as I was going through the things that I went through with my ex, I never went to a man to discuss it. As a woman, I am not coming or going to a man to discuss what's going on in my marriage. And a lot of men do not fully understand why some of these married women will come to you and try and confide in you about what's 9 times out of 10, true story, they just want to screw. That's just what it is. And for some of these married men, it's the same thing. For married men that go and think that they want to confide in a woman outside of their spouse, their wife, about what goes on, it's because you want to screw. There's a certain level of intimacy, you know what I'm saying, that you're trying to get, that you really, that's why, like I told you, go seek comfort from your wife. I'm not her. I have integrity about myself that I'm going to send you back to your spouse, period. I'm not consulting you about your marriage. I'm not a marriage counselor. Okay. I am not speaking to you about your marriage. I'm not giving you advice or an opinion about anything that's going on in your marriage. I am not equipped to do that. Right. And I learned that at a very early age when it came down to, because a lot of my friends are married. You know, we're women, so we go through things. But I am never going to advise you concerning your husband. Period. That's your husband. There's some things that you have you got to figure it out
on your own.
And a lot of my friends, and a lot of my friends, that's what they were like, here, we couldn't tell you because that was your husband. So we didn't want to come across. And I'm like, nah, one thing I can respect is that I can respect honesty. I can respect, you know, realness. You understand what I'm saying? Because the truth of the matter is, Nakia was like, I'm ready to get out of here. Like, let's go. Okay.
Go time. Out of here. Out of here.
Something ain't right. I don't even know what's not right anymore. I can't tell what's right or wrong at this point out. But I think that we have to be able, as single people, when it comes down to even providing any type of counsel to a married person, discern that spirit that's coming to you. Okay? Because if that's, let me tell you something. There have been, I have had situations where people will come and, you know what I'm saying, oh, you know, can you talk to so-and-so? Can you do this and the third? Oh, okay, fine, whatever. They don't want to talk to me. That's why they wanted to talk to you. Listen, I don't deal with them spirits. And I don't. And I'm being very honest. I really don't. This used to happen to me in the church, outside the church. Around. I'm not, even when I was with my ex, well, can you counsel something? No, I cannot. They don't want my counsel. They want your counsel because they want your penis. I don't have what they want. I personally don't have what they want. So they don't want to, so they're going to accept the initial request, but that's it. My ex used to get upset with me all the time. Why you keep saying that? Because it's the truth. You need to discern who's coming to you. I can discern all this stuff. I know who's coming up to me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm okay with it. I discern who's coming up to me, asking me for information about whatever the case may be. And I can discern that. Everybody got to have a level of discernment within themselves. Everybody. So no. I don't deal with all of that. So I said all that to say, let me tell y'all, some of y'all single people something, men and women alike. Take a cue from my book. Send them folks back to their spouses. Don't give them no advice concerning their spouses. Because guess what? And let me say this, right? Because you've been and gave them that advice, and them niggas still weird with their spouses. You hear me? Keep it right. No, I can't advise you on that. I suggest you go work it out with them. That is my main. And now if it's something general, you
Right,
know he ain't want chicken and he ain't like the fact that I cook chicken. I'll be like, well, baby, you needed to cook whatever he wanted. Sure, he don't work hard. Listen, that's as far as my advice is going to it. Now, unless he put his hands on you, that's different.
But let me tell you something about even that. I don't get involved in that either, because when you get involved in that,
go back, they stay.
All of them either go back at least one time, and then it's still the arguments and this, and you still calling because y'all arguing and you think he might hit you. So now you and your girl is running up there. No, don't call me, honestly, because you get people involved. When you call somebody, when somebody put their hands on you and you choose to stay, you done put all these people's lives at risk. Every single person that came here for you put their life at risk for you, and now you still decide to stay with this person. And then this happens again, and you still want these people to come to your rescue again. They're still putting their lives in danger to help you in your situation that you sometimes may not even be trying to get out of.
Let me say this. I was not that person part at all. You got one time to put your hands on me and I'm out. My ex put my head through that car window one time. I was out. I didn't need another.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for getting out. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't need no more. One thing, and you know, I did not call a whole group of people to come, to my rescue or anything like that. I called my friend Tia right here. Tia came up to that police precinct. My other friend Jessica came up to that police precinct, and they sat with me as I went through that whole, ordeal.
The whole process.
Yeah. As it pertained to that. Tia stayed up there with me until they put that man in cuffs. You understand what I'm saying? So, and it was a one. And the thing about it is that a lot of people said, well, what if you take him back? And I'm like, I don't know what part of the game y'all think I'm in, but that part of the game don't exist with me. You got one time to put your hands on me. And the reason being is because you put your hands on me that one time and I let you slide. That means that you think it's going to be free reign for you to keep doing that. And it's not going to be free reign, because then I'm going to be unsnapped because I've been murdered you. And that's just what's real. I don't tolerate that domestic violence stuff. You're not throwing me against walls. I don't even tolerate that yelling in my face type stuff. Like, no, you're going to give me 5 feet.
Yeah. Respect my space. Respect my space.
Listen, when you get like this and you're in my face, at this point, I'm about to fight you. And I don't care whether I could beat you or not. I'm about to really, because you like this. So at this point, you're violating all types of energy, space. No. Okay. You know what? I guess what I'm really about to do is try and murder you. And whoever come out above is going to come out on top of this one. Because I'm not dealing with all of this. You know what I'm saying? So, there's a lot transpired after that initial incident within my own self, because I don't do yelling. Like, you're not going to raise your voice at me. You're not going to cuss. Like, don't cuss at me. Right. Like, don't do none of that stuff, because to me, that's a level of aggression I'm not dealing with. Because at the end of the day, if we don't agree on something, we just don't agree. But we should be able to be adults about our disagreement.
The disrespect does not have to occur.
No, it doesn't. No, and I'm not saying this just on the woman's side. I'm saying this on everybody's side, because at the end of the day, there are some real disrespectful women that will jump in a man's face. You don't have to do all of that. You don't have to do all of that, because
and then dare him to hit her.
Right, and you ain't gonna hit me. I'm about to knock your ass out. I am though.
Yeah,
I am.
Because what some people forget is that men, yes, are stronger than us. However, if you hit somebody in a certain part of their head or their face or their body, you can literally hurt them or kill them possibly. So women, we have to take accountability for our crap and stop doing the BS. Keep your hands to yourself. Stop antagonizing. Stop egging these men on at times when it's not even needed or necessary. Sometimes we have to, when they say, let me go, get out of my way, you stop blocking the door, let them out that door. Stop trying to pull them back in. Don't follow them out the door, chasing behind them, driving behind them, all that nonsense. keep calling him 50 times. Let him go, because you're just making the situation worse, and then dare him to hit you. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
And
It's
let me
not
Tia
okay.
said, she said, I knew you wasn't taking him back. He took you through a lot. Yeah, but some people didn't. They were like, well, you mad now, but what if you get back with him? And I was like, do y'all not know
Like,
my
that's what
name?
you say. But you know what was so sad about that? That's what somebody said to you, instead of like, do you recognize what just happened here? Do you understand what he just did to me? But this is the comment that you say. This is what you say to me.
Mm-hmm. As women,
Mm,
this is what we do though.
that's not
Because
okay.
it was definitely women that said that to me. You know
It's
what I'm
always
saying?
women that say that. It's always women that say
But
that
that's
because they
because that's
expect you to
what,
stay through that. Yeah, that's what they're used to. It's the cycle. Me and my man, we fight all the time. That's not okay.
and it's not
We fight all.
normal.
It's not normal behavior. Well, my mother, my father did that all the time. Well, this person did that. That's not normal behavior, because when you saw it when you were growing up, did you like it? No. So why do you think it's okay for you to behave this way? If you didn't like it then, why do you like it now? Why is it okay for you now?
And that's the thing. Why? Why did you make that your norm? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And a lot of it has a lot to do with how we felt we should receive love. All of that is on the receiving end. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's not what you're exuding; it's on the receiving end, right? And it's to go
Mhm.
like we're not biased. I'm talking about men and
Mhm.
women alike, because
Right.
men have been abused by women. They just don't talk about it much. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because guess what? The truth of the matter is, some of y'all women, y'all love to accuse these men, and you badger them every single day. You rip them apart every single day. I know you doing this, and I know you doing
And
that,
they don't be
and I
doing
can't
nothing.
try. And girl, they just be trying to work and have
Nothing.
and enjoy
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. But
And
now
you
because you
don't think
keep
that that's
accusing me,
abuse. It's abusive.
it's
That's
it is abuse.
abusive. That's
Mhm.
mental and emotional abuse. And a lot of
Yes.
times we don't like to admit that, but that's exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? And then these same men meet some great women like myself, and I got to deal with all these damn walls, okay?
Yeah.
Because y'all
Yeah.
done ruined it for us great ones. No, stop it. Everybody needs to stop and understand how to exude love and how to
Mhm.
receive love.
Receive love.
You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? Because
Yes.
all love should not be this dysfunctional.
But you have to look at, what I have been doing these past few years is I look at everybody's relationship with their parents.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're a friend of mine, somebody I'm getting to know, if you're a female or a male, I like to talk about your growing up, how your relationship is with your parents now, because that tells you a lot.
I just want to say
That
one
tells
thing,
you a lot.
and I'm over Donny because he put in there, I don't know why I'm singing a song Comforted by Shy, but in my head, and then now I'm singing
Hmm.
it. I'm like, I will comfort, comfort.
What? What? Somebody needs some comfort tonight.
I'm over here singing
Somebody
that
needs
song.
some comfort tonight.
Now it's in my head. I'm like, you know what? Now all I hear is Shy. Wait a minute.
Mhm.
Over here,
Mhm.
with that damn comforter. You know what? Let the people know they need
Mhm.
comfort. They better put on
That's what
Shy.
it is.
Look,
They need comfort.
let me not put because I got the Alexa, because she hears her voice and she hears her name, and next thing you
Oh.
know she just start going off about things. So let me not say
Oh.
her,
Yeah,
because
please don't.
she been
Yeah.
unplayed Shy comforter.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But no, yeah,
Yes.
and I think a lot of our issue. Sorry, y'all, because he wrote that, and it was in my, it was like right here. It
Don't
was,
be sorry. Don't be
I think
sorry. You were supposed to. That message was intentional. Don't be sorry.
you're right about it. Comforter, everybody go
Mhm.
stream. I'm
Somebody
shy.
needs some Yeah, go
Everybody
stream that
go
right now.
right. You need a comforter. And if you
Somebody
don't
need
want
that.
that comforter, because some of y'all act like y'all too holy for Shy, then go read the Bible about how God said he was going to send the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit is going to be a comforter. Let me put that out there for all you little super uber religious people that act like you can't listen to Shy. I'm just putting it out there because but just bring it all
You
full
know what
circle. Hmm?
I'm going to say this real quick about that. People who are that way really don't know God.
I mean,
They
we know
really
that,
don't know
sis.
God. You know what I'm saying? And so like when I think about people growing up and how they were, and even how they are now, it's like, do you really know who God is, or do you really understand the Bible that you're reading? I mean, come on. So I just wanted to say that for those folks. Yeah,
I mean, you can
stop
say
it.
that for them too, but I'm gonna still let y'all know y'all could go right on over there to the book and go find the comforter of the Holy Spirit,
of
because that's what
the Holy
he said. I will
Spirit.
send you a comforter, and it was his spirit. So go on ahead and go find that over there. I'm just letting y'all know where y'all could go, because I just want to help. I want to help everybody be well rounded in all their comfort. Shy, we got it over here.
Mm-hmm.
Holy Spirit, go on ahead and find the comforter over there. That's it. Listen here. We are well rounded on the Muzzle Is Off podcast.
Yes, we
all
are.
we do all things, okay?
Yes.
Putting that out there. So yes.
Yes.
But what we're not gonna do no more is dysfunctional love. That's what we're not gonna do. Okay.
No.
Hello.
We're not gonna do the love that the love where you're supposed to be with somebody and this person is supposed to be supporting you and helping you. And when you achieve certain success, this person now throws in your face, well, I was the one that did this for you. I was the one that did that. Well, when you're with somebody, you're supposed to support them. That's what you do for one another.
That's right. Support me.
That's what support.
Support me in my endeavors, because Lord knows I'm forever starting something. For real, I'll be like, oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna do this.
I think I could do this. Let me try this out.
What you think about? Listen. I probably got about one good friend, and I'll be like, well, what do you think about this? And he'll be like, well, I think you just should do it. No, that's a dope. No, that's a dope idea. You should do that. I was like, see, you just support all of me and my shenanigans. Okay, thank you. Because you need that person that's just gonna be like,
that's right. That's right. And your number one supporter should be the person that you're with. And it's unfortunate that so many people don't have that, and they stay with that, and they stay in these unhappy relationships because you're not speaking your truth. It's like, I'm saying for the children. Please don't say for the children, because the children already know. The children saying behind closed doors, I wish they would leave each other. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of it.
But I ain't even gonna hold you. When my parents was together, I was like, I think things was better when y'all was separated. Like in my head, that's what I was saying. Like I liked life apart.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As a kid, I liked life apart. I felt like that life was more conducive for everybody. Life apart was conducive. And, I guess they finally realized that life apart was conducive for them. You know what I'm saying? Oh, parents, don't be mad at me. And if any one of y'all little reporters go back and report it, they probably going to agree now. Life is better for them to be apart. I don't care.
Yeah.
But no, because sometimes you do realize that, because sometimes things happen. People grow apart. And, at the end of the day, life can be better apart than together, because why should a child constantly hear that level of bickering? It's like you got man, woman, father, mother, and they're just like this. They're clashing. At what point is that child seeing what a man and a woman looks like in love?
They
don't see it. So they might as well be able to see that if, the man or the woman, decides to get into other relationships, and they see a healthy dynamic, as opposed to one that's always like this, one that's bitter, one that's broken, one that's angry, one that's frustrated. That's not love. And a lot of times, and a lot of what happens, because, they say, oh, relationships don't last like how they used to last back in the olden days. Well, let's play this out.
Come on.
Back in the olden days, honestly, your grandfather wasn't really in the house like that, because he was constantly working, right? So at what point did you really see love? And let's tell the truth. You also saw a whole lot of other stuff, because Pop might have had a whole nother family down the street.
Yep.
So a lot of times Pop might not have been home, because Pop had a whole nother family down the street.
He was with Miss Lucille around the corner.
So a lot of the dynamic that we saw growing up that might have resembled a relationship really wasn't even that. It was two people just dealing.
Right.
And saying,
because they were together for so many years. Oh, well, they've been together 40 years, and that's what I want. But you don't even you don't even really know what these people went through or been through. When have you ever saw them say, you know how many people that is our generation that their grandparents never hugged each other or they never saw them say they loved each other? How many people's parents they never seen say, I love you? Like, what? You never. I know people personally who their own parent never said it to them or they don't hug them or like, wait a minute. So this is why you're this way. Oh my God, it makes so much sense now.
And that was one of the things, like growing up, my mother was so adamant about, she had to let me and my sister know that she loved us. Like
Yes.
she
Yeah.
was so adamant about that. Like,
my mom too.
even if she felt like she needed to discipline us, it always ended with a hug and the kids, I just love you so much. And I'd be like, well, you just hit me. How does this work? And you just hit me. Right? But it was her way of saying, although I had to discipline you, I still love you. You know what I'm saying? Because she had to still show that love. My mother was adamant about that, letting us know, I love you. Even the days in which I used to say, you don't love me. And it would break her heart that I would say that, right? But I'm a Capricorn, I'm dramatic. So it just would always come out like that. Like, you know, we're just super dramatic. She's do one thing wrong, you don't love me anymore. You know what I'm saying? And she's a Gemini. That shit would just hit her in her little heart and stuff. And she'd be like, yes, I do. What are you talking? You know what I'm saying? But whatever.
Right.
But it was real for me in that moment because that's really how I felt because I was super dramatic as a kid. So, you know, but she always had to express that even in the moments in which I really felt like I don't think this lady liked me. You know, she was like, but I love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I don't even know, you know, but that's what's real. And I think that a lot of the times when we miss that dynamic of love, what is love? It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't.
Love don't cause you to feel all this level of pain, you know, and that's when people think, oh no, because God so loved the world that he gave his son. And could you imagine the pain he felt giving of his son? So sometimes we have to give things away. Listen, I didn't take that interpretation, and I'm not going to take that upon myself. Okay.
Right.
I get that love is very sacrificial because you do have to give of yourself, right? But I also do not believe that that's sacrifice actually, because when it did happen, it was for the greater good of the world. So that pleased God. That there's a difference. And I think that we miss that whole point in the workings of love because we just want to think of the sacrifice of love and think that love constantly is sacrificial against you, that you have to give up something. But what you have to understand is that it was for the greater good. So it pleased. There's a difference. If what you're giving up don't please you, the giver, you ain't doing that crap right. They ain't ready for that good gospel. That's the problem that we have when it comes down to actual real love and interpretation of what it actually is. It yet still should be pleasing.
Yes.
The hell am I giving you and I'm not being pleased?
Pleased at all. That's
all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
That's a huge, huge problem.
So I'm supposed to take this black eye. I'm supposed to take being beat up. I'm supposed to take these bruises. I'm supposed to take
the verbal abuse too.
Right? Because, and the truth of the matter is words carry spirits, right? So every time you cut me down, that's a spirit being attached to me, right?
Yep.
So I got to take on now, and that's another characteristic. You're changing my energy concerning myself. Because it's constant, and anything that is constant, we already know this. The law of repetition, it works. So if it's constant, therefore I become it, because that's what I'm repeatedly hearing, right? And we don't fully understand that. So therefore, when you enter upon a cycle of toxic love, toxic abuse, all these things that are just so toxic, you then become what? Toxic yourself.
And don't even realize it. You don't realize.
I was very toxic and didn't know it. Yeah, I was very. So was I. And didn't know it.
So was I.
And passive aggressive a little bit.
Yes. You don't realize it until after the fact that you start looking back on it like, oh, wait a minute.
Or you get called out on it.
Yes.
I just got
But
called
even
out
when
a
you
few
got
good
called out,
times.
I know even when I got called out on it, I wasn't receiving that because in that moment, nah, that's you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. So no, that's not what it is. But no, that's what it was. That's what it was. Definitely was what it was. Definitely was what it was. But what did I do with that? I corrected that. I changed that. Those character traits no longer exist. You know what I mean?
And because it comes with a certain level, and this is where, how do you love after hurt? It comes with a level of awareness of self.
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't start with the other person.
Mm-mm.
It starts within you. It
Yes.
starts within yourself to be able to heal. We always want to point the finger. Well, they did this, and that was very toxic, and they were this, and they were that. No, 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 no,
What did
no.
I do?
What did I
What?
do? What did I accept? What
Yes.
am I exuding? What
Yes.
am I not seeing?
Hmm.
What are the characteristics that I keep falling into?
Into.
Because what I had to realize, once I healed within myself, that same type was not even attracted. Although they might have been attracted to me, I wasn't attracted to them.
Used to them. Right. Right.
That same
I
type
agree.
was no longer attractive to me.
I agree. It's like you
They might
discussed it a
have
little
been
bit.
attracted to me, but I was not attracted to them.
Mm-mm.
There was
Mm-mm.
no level of attraction going back.
At
So,
all.
what is it that is drawing me to this toxicity? Because it's still within me.
Hmm.
And you got to free yourself from that. You literally, I believe everybody has to take a time to heal.
Absolutely.
And that
Absolutely.
healing is really and truly a mirror experience.
Yes. 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 It really is.
What
It
did you
really
do
is.
to heal? Because you're now, so give the people a little background on your story
Okay.
and then to where you are now with your good new love that
Okay.
I'm excited about and happy
So
about.
I was in a relationship for 13 years. Started at the age of 19. He was actually 8 years older than me. And it was toxic from day one. Like the first date was toxic. We argued. He called me a bitch. Like we got into this huge argument, and it's like I don't have to deal with this. And I said it at the time, like I don't have to deal with this. But then I'm sorry. You know what? Let's try to let's go out again. Okay, we having fun, and then the cycle started to repeat itself. So we wound up being together all these years, and that was toxic. Sometimes we did have some great times. However, the relationship was not a good relationship. It was, how during that time I would say verbally to this person and to myself, I know I'm not supposed to be with you. I know we're not supposed to be together. Love isn't supposed to be this hard. We should not be this way to one another all the time. No matter what we did, no matter what I said, no matter what he said, it would never get right. And there was a lot of disrespect going on from on my end and his as well. You know what I mean? And it got to a point where I said to myself, I can't keep living like this. I'm not okay with my children seeing this. I'm not okay with being treated like this. I'm not okay with receiving this or giving it back either. This is not how life is supposed to be. So I chose to leave. It was not an easy choice. Prayed on it and I did it. And even after leaving, I still was a little conflicted because I still kind of allowed this person to have control over my life, meaning that I still was telling this person every single move I make. Oh, I'm going here. I'm doing this. Where you going? I'm going here. I'm going there. Like we still in a relationship, but we aren't. And that went on for a little while. I'm dating somebody else. They're dating somebody else. There's nothing going on with us, but you still know what I'm doing. And no, this is not okay. This is not okay. So I broke away from that when I started my health and wellness spiritual journey. I started to see and certain feelings would come up. I started to deal with past experiences and situations that I didn't even know I had an issue with. Things just started coming up even from my childhood. So I started to heal from those things. I was literally dealing with things face on, looking at myself in the mirror and dissecting every single thing and figuring out, oh my goodness, this is why I allowed this to go on. Oh my God. Even in a sense, we're apologizing for certain things and my rule, because we have to take accountability for ourselves. And when you take accountability, you also forgive yourself. And you have to know that I'm not I'm not going to do this in my next relationship, and I'm not going to do this to myself or allow anyone else to treat me or do this to me either. So that ended, and even breaking away and allowing him not to have that control, or giving him that control over, letting him know my movements and this and that. It was hard for him to get over that because he was so used to it. So now, because you don't know, now the disrespect comes again, and the name calling. You're going around and telling people I'm doing this and I'm that and I'm this, and it's like, what's up with you? What is going on? Because you don't know what's going on anymore. So, but okay, I'm still gonna pray for you. I don't want your prayers. I don't need your prayers. No, you do. I'm gonna pray for you because this type of behavior is not okay. And I got out of that, and like officially just was over that whole situation. I had to learn how to, I was very aggressive. So I had to learn how to not be so aggressive at times. Just because you say something to me doesn't mean I have to turn around and just give out that kind of energy, because I noticed that's what I would do. I was giving out that energy a lot. Even when I would think back on certain situations, or even talking with people that were around us for all that time, and we would talk about certain situations and things that happened. I'm like, wait a minute, wow, Maisah, like I was out of line. But you don't think about it in that time. It's just, as a woman, we I felt like, I'm gonna have a bigger bark because I'm a woman. So I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z to get to you, to get under your skin, or to get back at you for what you're doing. When that's honestly just making things worse. It's not really dealing with the situation. It's not talking it out. And then if you do want to talk it out, the other person doesn't want to talk about these things. So it's like you're not nothing ever is getting resolved. And if you're having a conversation, it's not really a conversation. It's arguing and screaming and yelling. Nobody's listening, nobody's hearing. The other person saying, be quiet, you're not listening to me. The other person is just screaming what they want you to hear. So nothing ever gets resolved. Oh, those old wounds don't get healed, but you have to learn how to deal with it on your own. I had to learn how to move past that, heal through that, deal with it face on, and that's what started happening. And while that was going on, I knew who I was with now. We weren't talking as much, but we already kind of knew each other. We're like associates. And maybe like a year later, we really started talking more. And from the beginning, we were an open book with one another. We talked about past relationships. We talked about situations in relationships and things that we did that we didn't like, and things the other person did. So what we started to do was we were learning each other's triggers. We were learning certain things. If this goes on, oh, okay. So I understand. Maybe you have to think before you react anyway. But when you talk to somebody about what happened in their relationship and what happened in yours, it forces you to think about what you're going to say or how you're going to react before you do it, because you know that I don't want this to happen in my new relationship, or any relationship, because I didn't like what was happening with these other relationships. So, and that's what we did. And as time went on, it just grew. Like, it just would grow. It just was growing. It was growing. We became friends first. I can honestly say that 150%. We became friends first because we were like raw and uncut with one another. Raw and uncut. Raw and uncut. Literally. I mean, the things that you think about that you feel like you can't say to somebody else because this person is going to judge you, or these people going to judge you, even your closest as friends. There's some things that you still don't tell your close girlfriends because I can't say this to her because she's going to react this way, or she's going to think this. I can't say this to this one because, but with him and I don't feel that at all. There is like no judgment. None. So when you experience that, when you're used to being judged, when you're used to being vulnerable and the person taking advantage of you. But when you're vulnerable and a person is not taking advantage of you, they see the vulnerability and they want to know why you're this way. Why are you so vulnerable when these situations go on? What happened? What's going on? They're interested in getting to know your story and you. And a lot of times in relationships, that's one sided. You have one person that wants to know, and the other person really doesn't care, you know,
Right.
because people aren't communicating either. So that was just, it's big for us, and no, it's not perfect. Yes, we are, you know, every day gets better. Every day gets better. Every single day gets better. Even through the car accident, we were in a car accident, him and I, September 2019. And I was a driver. He was sleeping, and he was asleep while I was driving home. And somebody was driving up on the wrong side of the road and literally drove directly into me, T-boned me on my left side. So when that happened, all the airbags popped out, excuse me, and which caused my left eye to be ejected from my face, and so now I have a prosthetic eye, my left eye. Um, and with him, I had a bleed on my brain. With him, his whole entire left side is like it was messed up really bad, nerve damage, all these kind of things going on. Whew. And so when that happened, it kind of life literally changed because now we both have this trauma going on. This was only maybe 9 months after us being together. And so it's like a huge test because not only do I have this going on, he has this going on, but he witnessed it, he saw it, he's there with me. He's literally seeing this post-traumatic stress, this PTSD. I'm seeing it on him, but we both are trying not to be too much on one another because we still have to kind of support each other too in these moments. But the great thing about it is, when you when you already have this open line of communication with this person, you don't have to say anything. They already know. So it would be a lot of times when I could be going through something where I wouldn't sleep for 3 days at a time because every time I close my eye, I see this car coming at me and I can feel the accident happen. And I'm being like lifted off the bed and all these things are going on, all these emotions. I'm having headaches for hours at a time. I can't open either one of my eyes. I have to wear sunglasses in the house because if the lights are on or if the TV is on, it's a certain brightness, a contrast, it's blinding me. It's blinding the right eye. And this is not even the eye that was affected. But because I no longer have my left eye, all the stress is now on the right side. So the headaches, the fear of being around other people, the fear of just walking out the door and being afraid to walk across the street, but praying and talking myself through that every single day and having this person with me, encouraging me and forcing me, knowing like, no, this is not going to get you down. No, you want to still get in this kitchen and you want to cook, but I'm going to be right here next to you and I'm going to stand with you. My depth perception is off now, so a lot of times things appear closer than they are. So it was very difficult to in the kitchen or even just getting dressed or just walking because it feels like something is right here. So when I'm reaching, I'm like stumbling and things like that. But he would be right there with me. No, you got it. You got this. Don't worry about that. Okay, cry, push through that pain. You can cry. Get those tears out. All right, let's do this. This even with my sons and not knowing how my sons would feel after this happened. And for them, they were just like, we just happy you alive, ma. And that was it for them. And they would joke about it. They would make jokes about my eye, and and that became a thing. And that would help me heal because I was super self-conscious about it. Because now my face looks different. I have all these cuts all over the place. This is when it first happened. So I was black and blue for a very long time. My face was burnt from the airbags, from the chemicals from the airbags. My tear duct is ripped, so my eye waters constantly all the time. Excuse me. So sometimes I'm always in my eye, touching it, patting it. Um, and it makes you self-conscious, but they will always joke about it and then tell me how beautiful I was. And then on top of that, even though in that moment I may not feel like I am this beautiful, I will look at myself and tell myself, you know, this situation does not define me. I am beautiful, I'm bold, I'm powerful. I would just say these things to myself constantly, looking in the mirror, crying because I just want this pain to stop. Just please go away. I can't take it. I can't handle it. But this ain't gonna get me down for too long. This is just a moment. I'm having a bad moment, not a bad day. I had to encourage myself. And on top of encouraging myself, I had somebody with me encouraging me too. And so having that was extremely beneficial in my healing process. And I always praise him and thank God for him every day, because I've seen people go through something, losing a family member, and to see how the other person that they're with doesn't support them. It's not there for them, being that person that they can lean on. And for me to have that, and still to have that every single day, and I'm grateful and thankful for that. I'm grateful and thankful for that, because who knows how I would have been if I didn't have them by my side. When those nights when I couldn't sleep and we both on our knees and we're praying together, you know, I've never experienced anything like that in my life. But to have that and to know that this person loves me unconditionally and treats me with the utmost respect all the time, you know, it's a great feeling. And it can happen for us. That black love that you want, that you dream of, it can happen for you. The thing is, though, you got to work on yourself. You have to start working on yourself. We have this thing where we say to each other that you saved me. We say that to one another because we both were already going through our own little journey. And then the universe and God put us together for whatever reason it was. And then to know and to start talking and to learn what our background and where we came from. And we would be in the same places at the same time and didn't even know it. And we're talking about situations and things that happened. Like, wait a minute, that was such and such here. Oh, this happened. I was there. Oh my goodness, I was there too. And we start talking about different things and knowing all the same people and realizing like, oh my goodness, and going through the same things and talking about how we each got through them. But now we're going through things and we're getting through them together. We're building together. It's a great thing. So I tell people, don't give up. You just have to really start working on you. And that, all of that extra is going to come. That love will come, but you have to start that love from here. Because trust, if I didn't start that love from here, if I didn't start my journey, this would not be right now. This wouldn't be. And I couldn't be able to receive the love like I should because of the place I would have been if I didn't start on my own journey, on loving myself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And that's real.
Definitely.
And that's the truth. That's it.
Mhm.
And that's why I said, tell us about your journey. Tell us about your
Mhm.
story, which led you up to where you are today. And sometimes, when you get that person that could literally walk through hell with you, you know what I'm saying? And can walk through the fire, can walk through the storm, can walk through the trauma, can walk through the insecurity, can walk through the pain, all of that stuff that matters, that means something, because that is what is unconditional.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that is the love that covers. That is the love that abounds. That is the love that literally just surpasses all things that we could ever truly understand. That is the love that is peace. That is the love that is hope. That is the love that is joy, right? So even in your discomfort, you can still feel comfort because that is the love that comforted, right? And I think that's a lot of the things that we don't fully understand what love. That's why I said we don't fully understand what love is. If we literally associate love with what is toxic and what is dysfunctional, we don't know what love is. Because love should comfort, love should provide hope, love should actually restore, love should redeem, love should do so many different things that we don't fully understand what love should do because we're so used to a love that is dysfunctional, a love that is inconsistent, a love that is not constant. How can you not love me constantly? That makes absolutely no sense. You might not like me every day because I might get on your nerve.
Right.
But you should love me every day.
Right.
And that love should constantly build, and that love should constantly grow, and that love should constantly manifest into what?
Yes.
A home. If we don't have a home together, we have nothing. There is no love there.
Mm-mm.
Because a home is something in which you build, because love should truly be the foundation of that home. A lot of people said,
Absolutely.
and guess what? I'm not talking about marriage. The
Right.
true foundation of marriage had nothing to do with love. Marriage, honestly, really and truly was a contract. It really and truly was a contractual agreement for what?
Yes.
Finance and stability. For whom?
Yep.
Not just the wife, but the family.
The family. Yep.
That's why they had to pay dowries and all this other extra stuff that was
Yes.
going on when it came down to the actual contract of marriage. So marriage is not necessarily associated with love. Now, have some of us associated that with love over time? Yes, but that ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the actual true foundation of love was opposite marriage. It didn't have nothing to do with marriage. Marriage was financial. Marriage was about money. Marriage was about stability. Marriage was about keeping a lineage. Love surpassed all of that. Period.
Yep.
And I think that a lot of the times what we don't understand is that aspect of it. In order for you to even get married today, now that we have a full-fledged understanding, right? Today's terminology. I'm not talking about what happened when Jesus was here. I don't care. I ain't talking about Buddha. I ain't talking about Muhammad. I ain't talking about none of them people. I don't know who the Scientologists believe, but I'm not talking about that either. And I'm not talking about God as she. I'm not talking about none of that stuff. I'm literally talking about exact love. What is it? Love existed before all of this stuff. So what is it? And it covered. Love created. I just don't understand, like, what part of that don't we feel? When you create a human being, that's love.
It's supposed to be out of love.
Whether you like the person or not, that's love.
Yes, it's supposed to be love. Yep.
This be the stuff I don't understand. Like, people, they used to tell me all the time, oh, you watch too many soap operas.
Oh, you like soap operas? Oh, man, sis.
Don't judge me either.
I'm no judgment. I just said, whoo. I couldn't keep up with them. That was my problem. I couldn't keep up with them. It was just
girl,
so
I kept
much going
back in
on.
the day when they was all coming on. Girl, I was recording all my children. I was recording One Life to Live.
My goodness.
Days on Live, General Hospital. I had all my recordings.
I couldn't keep up.
And I would watch and I knew all the storylines. You hear me?
Really?
Yeah, all the storylines. So I kept up.
Wow.
But because true story, right? Although it was TV and it was fictional, but they forever, people was getting possessed with demons and they were still loving them. We're gonna love you back, and the demon's gonna come out of you. You understand what I'm saying?
That happens now.
I just saw it on Days on Live like 2 weeks ago.
That happens now in real life.
Like
that happens in real life, yeah.
But you're just a hopeless romantic. I am, because I believe in the concept of love.
I believe in love.
If you don't believe in
and
love,
if you don't, that's a problem. That is a problem if you don't.
You got a mental
Something
issue,
is wrong
not
with
me.
you if you don't.
Don't sit up here and tell me, you don't live in the reality. No, I do. I live in reality of love. Where you live is not reality. Where you live is false. Where you live is full of fear and doubt and hopelessness. And all. I don't ascribe to none of them people that believe like that. I really don't. Because I find that you probably are more miserable than you will ever be happy. If you like all the crap that I've been through in relationships, I wish I would take on the attitude that love doesn't exist. I wish I would take on the attitude that commitment doesn't exist. I wish I would take on the attitude that there's no good man out here. I wish I would. I wish I would, because I can't. Because that's a falsehood. You know what I'm saying?
To yourself.
Yeah.
People miss out on so much just because you in this bad relationship. Oh, you know what? I'm giving up on love. I'm not going to date anybody for you. So now you putting that out there. So now, you know what you want to get back? You're going to get back somebody who doesn't care about you, that's going to treat you like crap because you're putting that out there. Come on. Don't do that. Oh, we have to stop setting ourselves up for failure. We set ourselves up for failure when we speak that negativity. we setting ourselves up for failure. Just because this didn't go right doesn't mean that other things won't. If you took that on, you will be feeling it everything in your life. If you took that on, come on. So you'll do that with a relationship, but with a job or something else, you don't feel that way.
Right.
So why do it when when it comes to relationships?
Right. When a business deal goes bad, you don't say, "Oh, forget all business deals." I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not going to do this anymore. No, you figure out what went wrong, you adjust, you fix it, and you keep pushing. But in relationships, you just give up. You just be happy and miserable and walking around and being that happy and a miserable person to everybody that you encounter. Come on. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Ooh, sis, oh man.
Look, we both took a sip after that, like, mm-mm,
Yeah.
mm-mm. We was a little parched after that,
Mm-mm.
like, mm-mm. But
Yeah, that.
y'all ain't giving us that
Mm-mm.
dry love. Mm-mm.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You ain't giving us that dry love.
Not at
It was
all.
like, wait, we got a little more. We
Let
gotta
me
add a
sit
little.
to that. Hold
We gotta
on.
add a little water to that, like,
Mm-hmm.
mm-mm.
No.
We ain't giving that
Oh
to us.
man, we
So,
don't
sis,
want that.
I want to thank you.
Thank you. Thank
I want to
you.
thank you. Nope, I'm gonna thank you. Everybody deserves honor.
I
You
appreciate
deserve
that.
honor. So I'm going to thank you. Number one, for being willing. Number two, for keeping your word. Number three, for showing up.
Mm.
Number four, for being transparent. And then for just exuding the positive energy that you just exude, because that's just who you are, in your royalty, in your beauty, in your essence, in your queendom, in your queenship, in all things that are you. So I just have to thank you, and I have to honor you, because, at the end of the day, we never know what's going to happen to us on this life's journey. We are living a life's journey. This is what we are doing, right? We understand that this journey is shaped by decisions. We understand that this journey is shaped by different movements and all these things that we make, right? But on that day when a person T-boned you, you were just driving home.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know.
Nope.
There are
We
some
don't
things that
know.
happen to us that are completely unexpected. But when the
Yes.
unexpected happens, and then we yet and still have someone, the man in your good life, that had to help you to heal you back to health, back to your original, like, no, you are beautiful. No, you are strong. No, you
Mm-hmm.
are courageous.
Yes.
No, listen, we're going to crack some jokes about this here, but guess what? These jokes are going to heal you. They're going to help.
They're
They're
gonna
going to
help me.
push you
Yes.
forward. That we're going to
Yes.
rebuild your confidence. We're going to rebuild you being confident in who you are, because guess what?
Mm-hmm.
You got a story.
Yeah. And I want to just add this really quickly.
Add it, sis.
The day of the accident, of course we're separated because they taking him working on him, and they took me, and he had my phone, and so because his phone got lost in the accident, so he had my phone, and he had to call everybody to let them know what was going on. So when my mom got there, she's getting ready to cry, and I'm like, no, ma, don't start crying. I'm alive. Like already in my mind, I had already, because I knew, because when the accident happened, I literally, when I knew I had no place else to turn, I said, God, please cover us. And I grabbed his arm, and we woke up, and we were both alive. So when my mom walked in and I saw those tears, Mommy, don't cry, I'm alive. And then when he came back to the hospital, I said to him, I looked at him in his face and I said, listen, I need to know this right now. I said, they're saying that my eye may be gone because we didn't know initially at that time. I'm like, are you going to leave me? Or are you gonna stay? He was like, I already told you I'm in this with you for life. I'm not going anywhere. He looked me dead in
Oh,
my face, dead in the eye, kissed me, and he's been amazing. That's my guy. That's my guy. So love is out there, it's real. You just have to be open, transparent, heal. You have to work on yourself and communicate. You have to communicate and be honest and be authentic. All these things, because what you put out, you're gonna receive it. And no, it's still not easy. Yes, you're still getting to learn and know another person. But that's the beauty and the joy of a relationship. When you can laugh and joke with this person at any given moment of the day. When everything you could turn into something happy and something joyful, It's a great thing. So don't give up. Thank you, my love. Thank you, beautiful, for having this platform. Thank you for saying, you know what, I want you on my show. I want you on my platform. Because you didn't have to ask me anything. You could have had somebody else. You could have had somebody else in mind, but you chose me. So thank you for choosing me. Thank you. You are amazing. You are beautiful. You are bold. You are powerful. You are Miss Nakia. Hey, yes.
You better come on here and say my name like you said it. Okay.
Hey, I just had to give you that right there because you are exuding all that. You are that, sis. You are that. You are, and we are. We are.
As a collective, we
As
are.
a collective, yes, we are.
And let me say this, Black women, this is how we should live in
Mm-hmm.
peace and in harmony with each other at all times. There is no
Yes.
competition amongst us. We rise
None.
together. That's how I believe. That's how I operate. That's how I live. I do
Mm-hmm.
not compete with my sisters. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just putting that out there for anybody to really fully, if you know me, you need to know that about me. And if you don't know me, now you know.
Right.
I don't compete with
Say
nobody.
that. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I believe that
Mm-hmm.
we all, Maisah, she speaks every I feel like every day. Like you really see it. She be like, I'm here, I'm there. And I watch her and I follow her. That's why I was like, nah, she gotta come on the podcast. We talking about Black love. And
Mm-hmm.
I said she's very encouraging, she's very uplifting, she has a story. And I believe that anybody and everybody with a story, it needs to come out.
Yeah.
I don't care how it comes out. I don't care how gory it is, but there's always something good at the end of it, right? And at the end of the day, we've
Absolutely.
all experienced life. Whatever life, you have experienced, you've experienced it. But what I am going to say is from this day going forward, don't allow what you've experienced to hinder you from what is yet still good for you to have. You can have love. Just embrace it. Embrace it. You know what I'm saying? You can have it, but you have to be able to embrace it. And it
Yes.
starts within self. You know what I'm saying? And we understand there are various different types of love styles out here. Okay. We
Mm-hmm.
definitely
Mm-hmm.
understand all the love styles. Whichever one of them styles suits you, you can have that.
Yes.
If you're polyamory, that means that
Mm-hmm.
you're transparent, you're open, you're honest. That's your love style. You can have it. If
Mm-hmm.
you are ethical, non-monogamous, you can have it. The key word in there is ethical.
Mm-hmm. Come on. Huh.
Ethical. If
Yep.
you are a polygamous, there's a difference between polyamory and
Yes.
polygamy. Okay. Some of y'all act like y'all don't know the difference, but there's a big difference because one is
Mm-hmm.
actual married, the other one is not.
Right.
Polygamy technically is not legal in the
It's,
United States of America.
mm-hmm.
But some of y'all act like it is because y'all become Muslim and then y'all got all these multiple wives and husbands and stuff.
And can take care of the households, but that's another conversation.
It's a whole nother conversation. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, if you're gonna practice, I get it. If you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
practice it ethically in the right way.
Right.
You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? So therefore,
Right.
when you join up in it, just do it ethically. But
Mm-hmm.
polygamy, polygyny, it's a thing, right? And whatever your love style is, whatever that encompasses, do it. You can have it.
Yes. Yes.
Because there's a bunch of them. I don't even know all of them. They got so many different
It's a
terms
lot. It's so
nowadays.
many. It's like whatever works for you. And to be just, and you know what? Be honest. When you meet somebody, just tell them what it is. Do not let things linger just because and this is the problem with people, it's superficial. So because superficially you look this way, I don't really want to tell you what I'm into because you may not be into it. But no, you need to tell me. So you know what? The cheating and whatever else that may go on because you weren't honest will not even go on. Let's save each other the trouble and just talk about it. Let's be honest. And this is the problem with people. People, please just speak your truth.
I'm gonna tell
And if
you
the
one of
person doesn't like it, move on.
Move
They're
on.
lost.
One
They're
of the
lost.
one of the biggest issues I've ever had in relationships was due to that lack of honesty.
Mm-hmm.
It has
It's sickening.
absolutely nothing to do, and a lack of transparency. You have to be transparent
Mm-hmm.
with people. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like even with my ex, how you married to me and got your good whore? We in the same space.
Nah.
That's not how that works.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? Don't
Mm-mm.
and I even had to tell him, don't introduce me to why would I even want to be why? Hello.
Mm-mm.
You know
Mm-mm.
what I'm saying? Like that in and out of itself, that should tell you that that is an opposite. You shouldn't operate like that. But some people just do not even grasp the concept of that
Mm-hmm.
level of discretion and what transparency. Even if I don't know it, you shouldn't show it. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? That's just Nakia, though. I know everybody does not necessarily agree with that level. Perfectly fine. But I am more than okay with transparency because transparency tells me exactly what I'm getting into. And it also tells me what I'm not getting into. And I think that when it comes down to these relationships, we really and truly have to learn how to be transparent. We have to learn how to be honest. We have to learn how to be integral. We have to learn how to have some morals about ourselves. We have to learn how to do all of that. And the reason we have to learn how to do all of that is because it will prevent some of y'all from having some of the worst headaches of your life. I'm trying to help y'all. Y'all won't have headaches when you honest. Okay? You wanna know why some of y'all get headaches? Men and women are like, because y'all all get headaches. You wanna know why y'all get headaches? Because you're not honest. Learn how to be honest and you won't get a headache. Okay? Be transparent. Transparent is what? Like this here cup. This is like transparent. See straight through it, right? That means that whether a person asks you or not, you ain't got nothing to hide. Ain't nothing to hide. You see it. There's nothing to hide. Transparency means I have nothing to hide. So guess what? If I'm screwing Susan or Malik, you're going to know I'm screwing Susan or Malik. Because transparency says I don't have to hide anything from you. That's what transparency says. Transparency says I can live free. And that's what we're lacking. And this is why some of us have a very hard time finding love because we don't know how to be transparent. So what I will say is join us next week because we are going to continue the conversation with Black love. But we're going to talk about Black love, but we're going to talk about it in a different form because we're going to talk about it with a polyamorous couple. And I believe it's going to be a great conversation because I believe that some of us need to be enlightened about what polyamory truly is and what it is not. And I'm excited about the conversation that's going to take place next week. And then after that, next month, we're flipping it. And we're really going to be talking to some really dope, awesome entrepreneurs that's just out here doing a darn thing. And I can't wait to interview them that are coming up next month. So tune in next week. We're going to be talking Black love, but polyamory style. Okay. So if any of y'all are polyamory, you know any polyamory people, get them to tune in because that's what we're going to be doing. Because like I said, when a mother comes off, it's off. I talk about all things. I am not bound by anybody's opinion. I'm not bound by what anyone thinks. I'm not bound by none of this stuff. I do what Nakia wants to do and what Nakia wants to talk about. And we're going to deal with Black love, polyamory style next week. So until then, I'm out. Peace.